Yo, what's good, guys? Coming at you with one of my better video ideas. I got it from a guy that is huge in the Madden community. Don't know how much overlap there is with the Madden community on the channel, but he does the Inside the Mind series. That's kind of what I'm going to be going for here. The alternative title for this video will probably be "You're Using Randy Johnson Wrong." So before we get into it, a lot of the people that watch this channel are not subscribed, which is not a problem. I love everybody that watches the content. But a lot of my viewers are repeat viewers, right? So if you have watched multiple of the videos, I would ask you to subscribe. You don't have to like the video necessarily, but sub so you see all the new content because we will be posting more and more helpful content as the year goes on. Little team breakdown. We took Acuna as our collection reward. I wish I did take Adley. He would fit the team better, but for co-op reasons, I did take Acuna. Mickey's holding it down in center. Definitely slumping for us recently, but still plays the best defensive center field in the game. Hank and Wright staying at first. We're platooning at second base, depending on what the opposing pitcher looks like. We just have Ripken there for the Ripken boost. We're going to be debuting Ellie. I mean, a lot of debuts, right? Not really going to say that. J-Ram. Chipper is my wild card option. We're running Gary just because we don't really have a catcher we like right now. Our platoon options will be between Simeon and Seager. Pitching this game will be Randy Johnson, no matter what, which is, going against what I said. This is the lineup structure. Let's get into it, right? So, while we wait for a game, should probably be on the All-Star. Which is good because it should let me think a little more, not have to be as locked in. Should be able to let you guys know what I'm thinking more often. The idea of the series is to say everything that's on my mind, every thought that runs through my mind, every gameplay adjustment, just little things that some of you guys might not pick up on. We're going to stop the slide. Oh, we found somebody. I guess while we're here, I'll plug the coaching. The coaching's been super successful so far. If you guys do need help, it will be linked down below. So this is the first way that you guys are using Randy Johnson wrong. Our opponent has used Randy. If it is a Randy game for you, I would urge you guys to pitch an opener. The reason for that being, Randy is your nuclear option. He should be your best pitcher. He is the best pitcher in the game. And if you're using him in a game where you would have 8-0'd somebody anyway with any pitcher, it's kind of a waste. It's a waste of using Randy. So ideally we want to use our opener for those first 2 innings, kind of feel our opponent out, know how good he is, and adjust off of that. Right? If we got the feeling he wasn't so great, we could turn it into a bullpen game, or we could bring in one of our weaker starters. If we get the feeling that the guy's just nasty, we go Randy. Randy gives you the best chance to win, but you don't really want to take that chance when your opponent's significantly worse than you, right? You want to have your best shot against the best player you're going to play. So that's why we pitched the opener. And, this can go for other guys, right? If you're dominant with John Donaldson, if you're dominant with Ohtani, somebody like that, and the back end of your rotation is not very good, an opener provides immense value here. So we're going to throw a little filler pitch here. Cutter inside. He swings. That tells me he's swing happy. Most people will take the first pitch of the game unless it's right down the middle. So I'm feeling he's a little swing happy. I can see he has a lot of lefties. So in general, I'm expecting him to probably struggle lefty-lefty. So we're going to go ahead and warm up Randy. Like I said, we're going to pitch him this game. Even though I'm getting the feeling this guy is not the greatest, we are still going to pitch Randy. So what I did right there was wrong. I'm not really super locked right now. I'm trying to focus on this at-bat for you guys. But what I would do in general is warm up 2 starters, right? A righty and a lefty starter. So if I was warming up Randy, I'd probably get warm up like Shohei or Verlander or whoever your guys' decent righty is in your rotation. So you can see he's under that. We're changing speeds. We're changing, areas that we're throwing him. Location and speed. You can see he hits pretty good with Christian Walker. He's got him in his 3 hole. So we're going to be a little more careful to him, not be too predictable. See, got him chasing first pitch. We're going to try to get him way behind in the count. If he goes down to 0-2, then this is a great pitching at-bat for us.
No, that's it.
Unfortunately, he got a little patient. So let's take that. So now we throw him something on the borderline. Evan Phillips grooved it down the middle. It's unfortunate. It happens. So, right, now we're down 1-0, right? Now we really need to bring in Randy. We need to limit damage. If that was the feeling you're getting. If you feel like he just got lucky, which I kind of do right there because we did kind of groove it right down the middle.
No, that's inside.
And his pitch selection has been less than great so far this game. Sorry about the reverb if that was going before. So you can see he's super antsy. Evan Phillips, probably not the best pitcher for this, but it is good that he is our opener. Against players like this, you probably won't like a curveball or a changeup, something that's going to really make them swing. This inside cutter on low difficulties is not the greatest because the PCI is so big, the timing window is so big, you're not going to get a lot of swings and misses on it. It's really used more so as like an inside changeup. So hitting wise here, we're righty-righty. We're looking to protect that inside part of the plate. We know Skeens' best pitch is that outlier fastball. It's going to be the most likely pitch for him to throw. Next to that will probably be the cutter and the circle change. So we're looking for one of those pitches we can really do damage on. Right here, 1-1, I'm getting the feeling that he wants a strike. But he sells that. He wanted that in the zone. Hung that. We missed a mistake pitch. Happens. We misread it a little bit. If it was the cutter, it would have been nuke. Missed another one. If you can just hit those pitches at low ranks, I promise you, just limit how much you throw down the middle and hit the ones that your opponent throws down the middle, and you're going to be much more successful. So right there, bad decision by our opponent to do that. Unfortunately, we do not have the speed to make it to third. You know, that's just how the game plays. He hits a perfect, it's a home run. We hit one, it's a double. Almost a single, but it is what it is. One thing I will point out for you guys is be a little more selective, right? Obviously, I kind of, you know, have that developed eye. I knew that was exactly what pitch it was, where it was that I wanted to swing at it. But don't be scared to take pitches, right? That's not a great pitch. I don't want to hit that at the start of the at-bat. If it was high and down the middle, then maybe. But you don't really want to be hitting pitchers' pitches to start an at-bat. It's not a recipe for success. I will sit here and hit that pitch 100 out of 100 times rather than swing at a pitch on the corner where even if you perfect it, it's probably going to be a single. So just something to think about. You know, perfect lineouts. I would try to not get too tilted over it. They happen. Especially when you're not significantly under the ball, when you're even with the ball like I was right there. They do tend to happen. So you see, our opponent's making a lot of mistake pitches. That's not a good pitch. That's a hung slider. That's a pitch that can get punished very easily. That's a bad pitch by our opponent. Bad take by us. You cannot be taking that in a 1-2 count. We should have swung. Should be a strikeout.
Nope.
But we have salvaged the at-bat. We've worked it back. Full count. He's been pretty aggressive. I'm expecting him to stay aggressive. Right there, he takes a passive-aggressive pitch. The outside and away fastball is almost never a bad option as a pitcher. Especially on higher difficulties, it is a hard pitch to get to. So we see he's liking that outside corner to lefties. He's throwing outside to lefties a lot. He's scared to come in to lefties. So that is something we will note in the future. Obviously, Ellie went deep on him, so it kind of makes sense why he is pitching the way he is.
Leading off for the Thunderbirds.
So we're going to try to get one more inning out of Phillips. Obviously, I already said we're going to bring in Randy no matter what. You can see we threw that, right? He's looking for like a sinker or normal fastball. We throw the cutter. He's on top of it in early. Ground ball.
Shortstop, Geraldo Perdomo.
Geraldo Perdomo. I don't feel like this card can really go the other way. He doesn't have a lot of pop. If I was anywhere other than Shieldwoods, I would probably be pitching him outside a lot more than I am right now. Don't be scared to double up on pitches. Most people, if you just throw a pitch, they kind of rule it out. They don't really consider the possibility of you ever throwing two in a row. This is a good spot for the cutter. I call it a UFO cutter. It kind of has like rise on it. Gets people swinging a lot. We have not pulled Cal Ripken. That's an L. But I guess it's because he hasn't batted. Obviously, he's not terrible at second base, but he should not be there. But for you guys' viewing experience, we won't really worry about it too much. I've won games with Chipper Jones playing catcher. I've won games with David Ortiz playing catcher. I think we can get by with Cal Ripken at second base for one inning. All right, pre-routine. So again, anybody batting from the left side, we're looking outside. We're looking outside, anywhere, and high and in. I feel like those are probably his most likely spots the way he's been pitching.
No,
It's a
that's
good
low.
take.
Ball.
Again, we're looking away, anywhere, and kind of high and in. There's the high and in. He
2-1.
missed the spot. 2-1 count. Probably get a cutter here. Probably would be my bet. Slider,
3-1.
same pitch. 3-1. If you're swinging at a 3-1 count, you gotta really like the pitch you're seeing. And we hated that. We hated that. Even if that circle change was in the zone, it's an easy pitch to be off on your timing on and be under.
The right fielder.
So we have a righty up and we have a runner on first base. We are trying not to swing at anything there or lower. We know he's trying to pitch for a double play. So we're trying to avoid that. He gives us something elevated. We go with it the other way. Should stay fair. Might plate the runner. Should plate the runner. So that's a successful at bat. Not a great swing by any means. You know, good timing or perfect timing would be a better swing, but that is still, you know, that gets the job done. We predicted him well. Right here, he's probably going inside. He did. Ripken doesn't have an especially great swing, but especially after we were just all over that pitch on the outside corner. Obviously, you know, he's not going to throw it again, right? Unless he did, and then it would probably be a good pitch. But, you know, that was pretty predictable. So we're going to go Seager. He's got a righty starter, and we went Seager instead of Simeon, is what it is. I'm equally comfortable with both of them. That is a Shieldwoods home run. Those do happen. Which brings me to a great talking point. At these high elevation parks and low difficulties, if you guys can just not strike out, right? Striking out kills you. If you can just, like, that's not a great swing by any means. That should be a pop-up or a fly-out, and instead it's a home run because we put the ball in play. At these low difficulties, you don't need to be striking out. The more you strike out, directly correlates with your chances of winning the game. If you're striking out 15 times, you can see our opponent's just rage pitching. I'm not really locked in. He just got mad and wanted to throw a bunch of fastballs. You know, it happens sometimes. If he throws another one right here, we're going to punish him. It's not a great pitch, but it's also not a bad pitch. It's, you know, it is, by the book, a bad pitch. But, you know, it's not something we're looking for, so it's a good pitch. Shouldn't have missed that one. Timing was all over it. Just a little under it with the PCI. So Ellie went deep on a low and in cutter last time. He probably won't get it this time. High and in. I doubt he throws high and in away. High and in again. We're probably looking away now. Comes back with that cutter that he gave up the home run on last time. We're just a little late. You got to get the bat head around. I have noticed that with Ellie. It's pretty easy to get jammed with him. His swing is not elite by any means, but it is a good swing. I would call it a good swing. I would not call it an elite swing. So right there, mental mistake, right? Evan Phillips has pitched a bunch of innings for us. He has pitched 2 innings. He's thrown, what, probably close to 20 pitches? He's thrown 20 pitches. He's tired. He's in the yellow. As far as an opener is concerned, you do not need to be bringing him out. So we're going to bring in Randy. This guy's probably going to quit. But we're going to bring in Randy. It is overkill. This is the situation I was talking about. You do not need to be bringing in Randy if you're up 5-2 in a convincing fashion like this. So that swing just told us a lot, right? It tells us he cannot hit an outlier fastball. He's going to have to lurk all over it. If he's ever going to hit it, he's going to have to camp on that pitch. So he's either, that tells us his hitting approach, right? He's either going to sit nothing but fastball or sit nothing but off speed, and he's just going to go back and forth between those two, and it becomes a guessing game at that point. Really, how you combat that is you throw him the pitch he wants in different locations, and you get unpredictable with your pitching, right? If I sit here and throw him 5 fastballs in a row, he is not going to be looking for a fastball every time. It's going to keep him honest. It's going to keep him guessing as to what I'm actually going to throw a lot more. You can see he read slider there. It's the only reason you would ever swing at that pitch. He had good timing, so we're going to really slow him down a lot here. And he looked quite silly, to say it nicely. So, lefty-lefty. If you guys do not know how to pitch lefty-lefty, it is often inside fastballs and away off-speed. Is usually the safest way to pitch lefty-lefty unless your opponent knows what you're going to throw. Then you can get a little crazy with it. But we are going to go low and in off-speed to just stay in that same timing window. We're staying in that inside timing window,
0-2.
but we're slowing our pitch down a lot. So that is kind of mixing him up, making a swing look bad. So a 2 count, I don't want to throw him anything he can punish. If he hits this, best case, it's probably a single down the line. And he swings and misses. So one thing that I get asked a lot on these lower difficulties is, what should I be doing with the 2-seam? And my answer is nothing. Do not throw the 2-seam. It's a bad pitch. It is used at high-level competitive play as a changeup to get people off the outlier 4-seam. And that's about it. 2-seams in the show are horrendous pitches, especially on these low difficulties. All you're going to do is speed your opponent's bat up. And instead of being late on the 4-seam, they're going to be early on the 2-seam, and they're going to pull it down the line for a home run. Do not throw it. It's not a good pitch. The only time I would even halfway consider throwing it is like right here. Just spike it. Just show them a different spin on the baseball, and there's a decent chance they might swing.
1-2.
But in general, I would not be throwing it. It's not a good pitch. So right here, we go low and away off speed. Like I said, how I would pitch lefty-lefty. This is not an especially slow pitch in the splitter, but if you get them looking fastball enough, anything's a strikeout pitch.
Leading off for the
So, chipper, you see, we R2'd for a bit. Don't do it for every pitch. Don't be a scumbag. But it can help kind of refresh you and see how they pitched you last time. We pulled off. We read more inside. Read for like a cutter. It was a 4-seam, so we missed it. It makes sense. Right there. Took too long to process it. Didn't really notice it was a slider until it's too late. So right here, we got to have a better at-bat, right? We're giving away momentum here. Not say momentum's a thing in the game, but you can kind of feel it. And like he's clawing his way back in. He's pitching halfway decent. So really, we're looking to do damage or at least get base runner in this inning. Right there, that's knowing my opponent. That's knowing he likes the away pitch. That's also knowing he does not want to fall behind 2-0. He wants to pitch from in front. So I was expecting another strike there. Just didn't love that pitch. Didn't really want to swing at it. We have not been timing up the ball too great. Terrible pitch by my opponent. 2-2 count. This is 50-50, right? Is it going to be a ball or strike? Hopefully he throws a mistake pitch. I would call that a mistake pitch. That is a horrendous home run. But again, guys, like just put the ball in play, man. If you're striking out a lot, you're not going to have success. If you're striking out well in All-Star, you are not going to have fun on Hall of Fame. Whereas you look at a player like me, I'm not striking out unless it's on Legend. I might strike out 3 times in the Hall of Fame game. I might strike out none. Until you get me on Legend, I'm not really striking out like that. Like you got to kind of get more consistent on the difficulties that you play on. And consistency means putting the ball in play. Even if it's not absolutely elite contact, you need to be able to put the ball in play. And if you do strike out, it needs to be striking out looking, right? Because you read something wrong or, you just wanted to work a count or something like that. Obviously, bad example by me. I'm talking, I'm rambling, I'm waffling, if you will. Just talking to talk. Just filling dead air. Let's try to have a better at-bat, try to focus a little bit. There we go, bang. He's getting too predictable, right? His first pitch, almost every batter is a fastball in some location. The spots he's shown affinity for it is up and in and up and away, which are good spots, but not if you're throwing them all the time, right? You got to be unpredictable with your pitching. If you get too predictable, that's where you start, seeing bad results. Ooh, I thought we got lucky again. That's a good pitch by him, right? He knows we're probably looking up and in on a fastball. He's thrown it a lot, so it's not a bad pitch by him. He's just throwing something out there. Did he mess up his pinpoint? Probably. Realistically, probably he just messed up his pinpoint, but it worked for him. And it's just showing you guys, like, the game's not that hard. You don't have to be perfect. You can make plenty of mistakes. It's just about who capitalizes on more mistakes. Not even really about who's making more mistakes. I feel like I've thrown him some mistake pitches. He could have done damage on some pitches that I've thrown. It's just a matter of him not doing that and me doing it way more. Right there, cheeky little pitch. Would not recommend it on lower ranks. Most people aren't going to read it right. Don't throw pitches that you would throw to high-level players to low-level players. You're going to get bad results on it. Like, would I ever throw this to a really high-rated player? Probably not. Not this far outside, anyway. I would put it more on the black. But in general, kind of know your opponent, play to your opponent. If Randy had a cutter right here, I don't know if I'm putting it on the inside, right? He's looking for an inside 4-seam. Why would I want to throw him anything that's going to speed his bat up? If he is going to guess wrong, I want him to be really wrong, which means this four seam. He's shown when he has swung for the four seam to be early on it. It's really hard. I don't know about you guys. It's really hard to be too early to touch an outlier four seam. So if your opponent's swinging like that, it means they're guess pitching. It means they're guess pitching, and they just don't really know what they're looking for, or they're just camping on pitches, which is obvious, right? The splitter has almost identical, spin to a four seam. So when that dude saw that splitter, his eyes lit up. He was all over it. It's all he thought it was a fastball, and he swung like it, and you can see it. So that kind of goes with tunneling, right? I'm not tunneling this dude that crazy. You don't really have to at these lower ranks. You just got throwing pitches they think they want to swing at. Right here, we're probably getting a pitching change. He quits. So we will do one more game, but it will not be Randy-based. I will pop back in whenever we get it. So, guys, we got our next game. We are going to do an opener again, but it's for a different reason, right? I'm between John Donaldson and a righty starting pitcher, probably Shohei right now. I can start either one I want. So I'm going to read this dude's lineup. I'm going to see what he has. So we're seeing a lot of righties, a couple lefties, but a lot of righties. So we're definitely leaning more in the direction of like Shohei. So that's another reason to pitch openers, right? You're kind of reading your opponent's lineup, seeing who's going to have the easier job. If I face somebody with 9 righties in their lineup and I'm starting like, I don't know, slow throwing lefty like Chris Sale or Clayton Kershaw, probably not going to be a good matchup. So we're going to play the matchup. We're going to bring in the righty. We're going to bring in Shohei. And we're going to give him the start. You can see, unfortunately, we did pick a lefty as our opener. It's just kind of the way it went. But Loop should do a job. Shouldn't be too bad.
Pitch, 1 o'clock.
Right here, we're just kind of filling him out, seeing like what he is looking for,
Ball.
what he isn't looking for. And you can see he's overly patient. With the slider being the way it is right now, or where I stopped it at, I think it was between like 540 and 780, something like that.
Batting second, the center fielder, number
Probably
22,
not gonna have that good of an eye, right? He's probably just taking to take. If you're taking pitches on the black like this early in that bat, probably just means they're being overly patient. They're telling themselves they need to take pitches, which is not necessarily the case with an opener, right?
No, that missed. That's a ball.
Because he's only going to pitch like 1-2 innings max anyway. So really, you sitting here taking pitches is not helping your case. You should be looking for pitches you want to hit against an opener. It's not like it's Randy on the mound. It's not like you have to work the pitch count. So right there, we pitched him how I told you guys to pitch lefty-lefty. High and in fastballs, low and away off speed. So right here, Sammy Sosa, we know he has a bad swing. We're going to try to get inside on him. But, know your opponent probably knows that, right? He has Sammy Sosa in the 3-hole. That means he hits well with him, and he knows his flaw, right? I would hope so. So we're trying to not give him something away that he can go with super well. He decides he needs to collect himself, which is fine, because we're going to hit him with the same pitch again. So overly patient, again, has the core collection squad done. We're going to throw him this. Hopefully he reads. Tough. Loop's just missing right now. All right, scary, right? If he gets aggressive and he catches one, it's a 2-run game now. Not a huge fan of walks, especially at low ranks. At higher ranks, they can be useful. Sometimes the right play is to walk a hitter, but in the first inning, I can tell you it almost never is. So don't be walking too many batters, and you're gonna see more success. Acuna absolutely raking for us right now. Have not seen Fulmer. 4-seam, cutter, sinker, and then Joe Random like after that. So we're looking for probably a variation of that fastball to hit for sure.
1-0.
So we're looking for something to get here. If it is a sinker, no, it's probably gonna be high inside.
Ball.
He's just selling pitches right now. Pay attention to your opponent's pitch release in the bottom left. It's important. If they're throwing just lights, just earlies, it means eventually they're going to miss down the middle. You cannot consistently throw pitches like that and not miss down the middle. So right there, not a fantastic swing by any means, but it's probably a double at pretty much any park in the game. It's just a home run here. And I believe he quit. So I will pick up in the next one for you guys. So we have our final opponent. We're pitching an opener again. There's another, upside of pitching an opener. Is our starter did not throw a pitch. He's not going to be tired. Obviously, it was Otani and Donaldson. They're going to have full energy no matter what. But any other pitcher in that scenario would have been saved. A start that did not matter. Right here, we're at Low Elevation Park, a park I absolutely hate playing at in Yankee. And we're going against Rube Foster. So here's a nice little knowledge nugget for you guys. If you haven't seen a pitcher, you probably shouldn't be so aggressive on him, right? So we have not seen Rube Foster so far. That's a mistake pitch that needs to go. But we are going to try to be a little bit patient, see some pitches, work the pitch count against him. Another one, this opponent is interesting. Starting the game off with 2 down the middle. 3 down the middle. We still missed it. Not going to go. But we're liking what we're seeing. Hopefully this guy is better. The slider was bigger. I think it was from 550 to like 800. So hopefully this guy's not awful. We're not going to friendly quit, bro. Try to do something right here. So if he keeps leaving them down the middle, we're just not even going to move our PCI. That screwball caught me off guard. I think timing was there. It was. We just dropped too much. We rigged curveball. So that's a little mental note. Got to know that he has that pitch. The stadium's pretty atrocious. Couldn't really see that one too well. Hopefully he just keeps making mistake pitches, and we'll get one eventually.
That's a ball.
He's a little too confident in this gimmick screwball. So I got a feeling this is not on the Hall of Fame. Just from the pitch speed and the PCI size I'm seeing. Probably a strike here. More or less, it was borderline. But we swing out. He'll throw to first, because of course he will. Oh, no, he hit the cut. All right. Respectable.
Batting third, the designated hitter.
So, got Chipper up, probably our best hitter.
Jones.
Looking to do damage. He leaves one down the middle. We get a fall-over swing. And that's just not going to be good enough, right? We pulled off of it. Our PCI was more inside than outside, so we pulled off. And we were early, so we super pulled off. That's why we got a fall-over swing. Unfortunate circumstance there.
Ball 1.
At these parks, you got to know, probably you're better off being early or late. And not necessarily being good, because, it is very short to left and right. Right there, didn't really want to swing at it. We just made up our mind too late. 1-2. This guy's being really aggressive. Do not pitch this aggressive. You got to slow down. You got to know when to throw a ball. Obviously, against a player of my caliber, I'm not going to swing up, like, insane chase pitches. That doesn't mean you shouldn't throw them, right? Because he doesn't know. I don't think he sat there and looked at my record. So, in this 3-2 count, good little, thing to do. 2 outs, 3-2 count, you should be running. You should be stealing with your base runner because they have to go anyway. So, you might as well have them in motion and running. And this is why I don't like Yankee. This is an atrocious park to play at. If you play here, I already don't like you. We're already off on the wrong foot. And that's why, right? That pitch is so far gone at Shieldwoods. It's not even funny. So, I did not read his lineup. I did not look at it. So, we're just going to warm up both, and we'll decide in the next inning. Start him off with the slurve. You got to be careful with the off-speed at these parks, right? Because if he's early and yanks one out over that right field wall, then it's an easy home run for him. So, you got to pitch to your park, kind of know the weaknesses of this park. We pitch him outside. It's less likely for him to get air on a pitch that is outside than it is inside, especially a fastball as opposed to off-speed. So right here, we got to be super locked in throwing this cutter. If we hang it over the plate at all, he can easily just early it down the line.
Oh, that's off the plate.
We know that. But we're also kind of getting the feeling that he's looking for an outside pitch now because he's not swinging at these. Right there, not a quality hit by our opponent. Really bad. You can tell he was super far on top of it, just slammed it in the dirt. He's lucky it didn't go to a fielder. So I kind of get base stealing vibes from this guy, which is prominent at low ranks, not really high ranks. Yeah, you can see he's taking a lead. We're going to look him over, but we're not going to pitch off. I guess we should have. So that's going to be first to third, which is really unfortunate. That's not a hit you want to see giving up. So we should have slid up and threw a ball, kind of how I was feeling, but we did not.
Nope.
So this guy's being overly patient. You can kind of tell he has that fake eye. Has some good averages, but I'm assuming that's probably more from like a moonshot event or something is kind of the feeling I'm getting. Ideally here, we would like to get double play ball.
Ball 2.
Again, Evan Phillips does not really have the necessary pitch mix to
Ball
get one of
3.
those. So you can see our opponent is
balls,
being
1
overly patient. We're going to try to throw him something that we feel like he's going to get on top of. So I'm going to throw him something slow. Right there. He kind of screwed himself over. Should be 2.
He's out.
It's not.
He's safe.
So this guy's kind of giving off clown vibes. Can't lie. He's bunting a lot. He's showing, you know, just weird stuff a lot. Just playing weird. I should, in the inning, a lot of people go 2 there, but look 1. That runner's a lot slower. That runner at 2 is fast. If he's stealing it all, he's probably going to be there, so be aware of that. So, bad start to game, right? We gave up some really bad hits.
Ball 1.
And some unfortunate
Ball 1, no
circumstance
strike.
caused us to give up a run, but it's fine. Just got to remain confident, remain locked
Ball,
in. 2-0
extra
count. I feel like I'm getting a strike from this guy. There's just no way you go down 3-0, right? Not to lead off batter. That forkball is kind of tough. Didn't really move at all. It's not a good pitch, but it does kind of look like the screwball for half a second. Right there, we're just under it. That's unfortunate. In my opinion, we should probably be up 3-0 at this point in the game. But we're down. And so we got to fight back, right? A lot of people would be mad right now. You know, I've played the show enough. I know this stuff kind of happens from time to time. You play games like this where you just don't get rewarded for 5 innings straight, and then in 1 inning you put up like 5-6 runs. So it's just a matter of just buying time, just staying cool, staying collected until you can get something. That is a earlier side of good all over it fly out. We're just getting really bad circumstance right now. We're kind of getting screwed over, if you will. It's pretty obvious first pitch for our opponent right there.
Ball 2.
I'm figuring he's gonna keep throwing junk, but you got to remain ready for the fastball, right? Don't want to get ate up by the fastball too much. Right there, junk, right down the middle. Really unfortunate it's not a home run, to be honest, but I'll take the single as opposed to a fly out, I guess. Now we get to do our platoon shenanigans with Seager. Obviously, I could put him in the field, but Gold Cow Ripken is probably as good as a Diamond Corey Seager that's slow. So we missed it. We didn't get up to it. Really, he's just throwing trash. We should be up. We're missing pitches. This guy's a goober, clearly. So, high-speed team. He's not really putting the ball in play too much, and when he is, it's typically bad swings. Very bad pitch by Evan Phillips. We're going to be looking to get him out of here real quick. I just kind of want to get through Chipper because he's a switch hitter. And it doesn't really matter who we put in anyway against him. So, Evan Phillips, this will definitely be his last batter. Not liking what I'm seeing out of him whatsoever. And our opponent somehow pops that up. If your opponents are popping that up, that's pretty bad. That pitch was pretty much in the bottom corner. There's no way you should be that far under that to where you pop that up. So we have a righty up next, and the bottom half of his lineup is righties. So we're going to go Shohei. I know we had a couple lefties at the top, but we're going Shohei. If you want to be a scumbag with John Donaldson, you can. For me, I'm not going to. I'm going to play it as though I actually didn't have another great starter option. And we're going to warm up 2 guys that I don't want late game, right? I don't want Aroldis or Rich to be pitching for me late game, but early game, just kind of trying to eat innings just in case Shohei gets lit up. Not a bad idea to have one of them out there. So you can see we have exposed his fake eye. That is an awful 0-0 swing. And that just kind of reaffirms to us that he's just overly patient and just doesn't really know what he's looking for. Should have swung at that. Got the check swing. For me, I don't really ever check swing. I think check swings are pretty bad in my opinion because that means you're not trusting yourself and you're not really getting a great read on what the pitch is before you start your swing. So for me, I don't really check swing. Obviously, I get mad when I don't get a check swing, but for me, I'm not prioritizing check swings. So Gary, not a super great swing, probably looking for an inside fastball here. He left it down the middle. Again, I mean, we just got to turn on these, but again, this is why I play at Shield Woods, right? This guy cannot put the bat on the ball whatsoever. He got really lucky. He's up 1-0 because of it. So for him, this is a great stadium to play at. For us, who is consistently making semi-hard contact, not so much. As we're probably about to get shafted again. thankfully that goes. So what, we have 4 perfect so far and 1 home run to show for it, and I think only 2 hits. So we're 500 on perfect swings this game, which is quite unfortunate. Ellie could have went back to back. You can see just a little bit late, just a little bit off of it. Not good enough. If we're any earlier whatsoever and more on the ball, it's at least a double. So we're trying to dial in right there. He is just throwing routine trash. It's a style that's not going to work for him for too much longer. You can kind of feel that we're knocking on the door. And next inning, I think the floodgates are probably going to open. He's not going to get away with pitching this bad for the whole game, even at this awful stadium. So right here, Napoli, we know he has a really slow swing. When he does touch the ball, he hits it really hard, but we know he has a pretty bad slow swing, very delayed start. So really, he's not really looking for our four-seam fastball. With Ohtani, if you can establish that four-seam and make them really respect it, even if that means being brain dead and throwing it 3 times in a row like we're about to do, it can open up all his other pitches. So we see that fake eye. The dude does not have that good of an eye at the plate. He's just sitting up here taking way too many pitches. You know, if it wasn't Shohei, if it was like a different pitcher, I would kind of get it.
No, that's a foul
So we can see our opponent almost got bailed out again with a god-awful swing. But thankfully he did not. And we popped him up even though we threw a pretty bad pitch right there with Shohei. So we're pitching all right. We're not even really pitching to the park, like I said. We're pitching like this guy doesn't know how to hit because he doesn't. He's just up here taking stuff. And you kind of get that feeling, right, by how he's been playing the game. Been like throwing to first base, been like sliding into first base when he's hitting. Just stealing bases, stealing, and then putting bad swings on the ball so that it gets, you know, put on play. You can see he's just up here taking everything with Ellie because he wants to get that speed threat on and try to steal. Right there, we tested them. We're going to slide up on the next pitch also.
I got 1 ball, 1 strike.
Be careful about what pitch you choose when you decide to slide stuff. A lot of times people expect the fastball, but then they will also start to expect the off-speed if you do it too much. You can see he does it again with that awful swing. And you can see he's intentionally running right there, right? He's intentionally running. He's trying to butt the ball to the other side to where the second baseman covers. That's why he keeps pulling the runner back. So, you know, just kind of a scummy play style, but also not a very high-level play style. And eventually we're going to punish him. It's just a matter of, you know, execution. It's right there. It's just on that sinker. It's dropping a lot more than we think, so we kind of need to make that mental adjustment. Down in the zone, it's dropping more than we think. Up in the zone, it's not really moving. So that's kind of something to, you know, take inventory on. Right there, expected it to be the sinker. It was not. We fouled it off. He's mad about it, but that's all-star for you, man. Like, if you can just put the PCI somewhat close to the ball and have somewhat decent timing, you'll foul off everything. Right there, another terrible pitch by our opponent. We got to turn on these, man. Like, we're just getting jammed. That's why we're not hitting it out. We're getting jammed. Right there, we were late, but a lot of times we've been later side good, which is still not good enough, right? If we're even early right there, it's an easy home run. So we're going to try to get around on one with Stan. Obviously, you don't want to get around on one. That's on the outside portion of the plate. So we're kind of letting that go, but if he keeps living there, then it will be a spot that we're looking for. We read that wrong. Rube's kind of tough. I don't mind him. Right there, he's getting really predictable with his pitches. Not a good 0-2 take unless you have a really developed eye. But for me, it's not a terrible take. See, like right there, I'm fouling that. It's too close to take. You can't afford to take those. If you do, you're going to strike out a lot. Another clown pitch. It's not a good pitch. It's a very bad pitch. It's just, you know, this opponent wants to play weird. It takes a couple innings to adjust to somebody that plays like this.
That's out.
But once you do, they're just throwing BP. And he's asking for it. A little bit early, a little premature on it. It's more so all-star than anything else. Topped it. We read it right, just topped it. Just haven't really dialed in on how far that screwball's going to break. Really Rube is saving him this game. If he wasn't pitching Rube, I don't think this game would be close. I think we'd at least have like 4 runs right now.
Nope, that's inside.
So the Mercy's probably out the window simply because of the stadium that we're playing at. Ellie should make that diving play. I don't know if he'll have the arm. He does. What a great play. You know, you take those.
The right
He's
fielder,
probably pretty
number
mad about that.
21.
That's a bad swing, man. I mean, if you're putting a sinker down the middle on the ground to where it can be fielded at all, then it's not a great swing. By definition, it's not a great swing. So, Sammy Sosa, really bad swing. He's going to have to be super, like, preemptive on the inside pitches. Obviously, this opponent can't read a book. He can't read at a third grade reading level or higher. So we're just kind of throwing pitches that he has to guess on. And that is insane that Mickey doesn't get to that, but how many times I've flown out to center field. Sometimes you got to overcome the odds, you know. Sometimes there's some MLB The Show games where you could put them on your resume as a time you overcame adversity. But, you know, that's just what it is. Right there, you should hit the cut. You should hit the cut. You should not be looking to third because with 85 speed, he's not making it to third by the time you hit the cut. Then you can either back pick him if he goes back, or you can, you know, just continue the relay to third and he's still out anyway. So right here, he's doing some clown shenanigans. That step at second is not going to matter for him. If he takes it, we're insta-picking him. He did not take it. So another bad swing by our opponent. Just not really ready for our best pitch. Obviously, the best pitch with Shohei is going to be that four seam, but we're going to try to get him on the steamer. Above the zone, he swings at it. You're not going to hit that ball hard. I do not care. If you're not at high elevation park with a super heavy power hitter, you're not going to hit that out. Best case, he would have got a single on that. It's still a play to run, but you're just not going to see a lot of success when you're swinging at pitches like that.
Aaron.
So, Hank, we should have looked at how he pitched him last time. I'm not sure how he's pitching righties with Rube.
Ball inside.
A little clown pitch. It just missed its spot. Okay. I don't want to, you know, have it be misconstrued. That last screwball was not one. That one was, right? If you're intentionally throwing the screwball down the middle because it's a weird pitch, and you're just expecting your opponent to slam his PCI, it's a clown pitch because it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work against high-ranked opponents. It might work on lower-ranked opponents. Right here, he just messed up. So you can see he's gonna sweat this game. He brings in Randy. He needs him. But we're gonna put in Simeon, right? We have our platoon option now. So if he just messed up, he's gonna be very one-dimensional with Randy. But you know, bang, it's at least off the wall. So right here, that's another thing worth mentioning. You can see with my base runners, I'm instantly, as soon as I hit the ball, I'm sending them to second. If there's any air on the ball, I'm sending them to second. Your opponent can make an error, or you know, anything else can happen. Just make sure you're running out your base hits, right? Don't mess around. You don't want to have your opponent make an error and be caught sending them first. So against Randy, I like to put my PCI there pre-pitch, just kind of like see the ball coming in better. Right there, we read wrong, but, you know, he's being very aggressive. He just thinks Randy's just unhittable. I got some news for him about Randy on All-Star. Not that great.
That's a ball.
So he's going to be very one-dimensional. He's going to throw the four-seam a lot. We did not go on that.
Did he go?
Right there, you see, I mean, I read the pitch wrong. You know, I saw a check swing, but you do not want to be check swinging frequently. So, that's unfortunate. If that's our opponent, it's through the gap for sure because, you know, he's got all the luck and we don't. But, in general, not a good pitch to swing at, right? We have probably our best lefty hitter of the lineup other than Chipper up, and we did that with him with the runner in scoring position, which is pretty unfortunate. So, not a good swing by our opponent. You know, if he wants to play at High Elevation Park and not Yankee Stadium, it'd probably be a double on the gap, but it's not. He did not go with it super well. I would imagine he was earlier side of good right there. And why is he earlier side of good on a cutter? Because he is sitting on off-speed pitches. So we're going to speed him up. We're going to throw him the four seam. You can see he's still kind of guess pitching.
He's out.
Because you wouldn't swing at that four seam if you weren't guess pitching. It's above the zone.
13.
It's usually not going to get hit especially well. But that tells me I'm getting a little too predictable, right? He's kind of guessing right now. So you got to mix it up. You got to throw some stuff you haven't thrown all game. For me, it's going to be the slurve down.
1-1.
He gets a lucky check swing again because he just can't trust his eyes whatsoever.
Hey.
Right there, he read you know,
One
something
ball,
else. So,
2 strikes.
terrible pitch, man. That's such a bad pitch by Shohei, man. That's got to be more inside. Got to be more inside. So we get to hear that delightful siren. And now we get to lock in a little more. So that was the pitch to throw lefty-lefty, apparently. He was early and on top of it. So we are down again. We're back up against the wall for pretty much no reason. Definitely played better up to this point of the game, but it is what it is. Right there, that needs to be a double down the line. We're too early. We're too antsy.
Nope.
Clown pitch.
Ball
That's
one.
a clown pitch. If you're wondering what a clown pitch looks like, that's it. That's a terrible pitch to throw. We're just
1
late.
ball, 2 strikes.
Gotta speed it up. This is a more competitive game. Should it be? No.
That's in.
No.
Ball 2.
Not even close. But, you know, it is. So, let's adapt. Improvise, adapt, overcome. We are just on top of that. That's tough, man. That's
Out.
it's rough. Of course he's throwing it around the bases. Because of course he is. Because he brought in Randy.
The batter,
Because he feels
number
like he
10.
has to win this game.
Designated hitter, Chipper Jones.
Shouldn't have missed that. You can't miss that. If you're going to swing in a 0-0 count, it needs to be something you liked. We liked it. We just dropped our PCI.
That's a ball.
Lucky take, but again, not really a pitch you want to be swinging at. Clown pitch, but, you know, we jumped the gun on it. Actually, no. The splitter up is not the worst pitch, but you need to throw it with the intentions knowing that if your opponent does not read it as a fastball, they're going to hit it a long ways. So, could be a good pitch.
3-2.
With the way this guy's throwing stuff, not really. A little early, a little premature. But, you know, sometimes you got to be with Randy. You just got to hit off that fastball. Don't look like a goober. Don't be, like, falling over swinging for it. But, you know, just be ready for it and hit off of it.
Ball.
All right, here we're looking for a strike. Obviously, he's got to try to get us to roll over for a double play.
That's ball 2.
Obviously, as he's thrown 2 in a row that were meant with that purpose. And he hangs that. So that's at least a double. It's looking like a home run. So big dub, right? He's finally got punished for hanging a pitch that you can't hang. You can't hang splitters. They get punished. They get that like changeup, curveball, slider multiplier for being hung. So that's a bad pitch. That's a terrible pitch. And we finally capitalized on it. Probably on the swing where, you know, the ball shouldn't have went. But
That's out.
with how unlucky we've got in this game, you know, I'll take it. So right here, we're looking for him to be predictable lefty-lefty. He's not. He throws another weirdo pitch. Mainly, I was looking for high and in fastball, middle in fastball, low and away off speed. Just kind of not how it came out.
Third baseman, Jose.
So he's reevaluating his life choices. He just wasted Randy for a game to bring him in for 1 inning. So now this guy does not get to use Randy for a long time, and he's probably still going to lose the game that he brought him in for.
No, he beat it.
So I'm going to restart the recording. I see it's getting a little jumpy.
The right fielder,
So give me
number
half a second.
44.
We're going to pause this and we'll pick up at this at bat. And we're back. Hopefully everything's good. Hopefully the frame rate picks up. Yeah, looks a little better. So Evan Phillips, we know what he has, right? We pitched him as an opener. 3 fastballs, a slurve, and actually that's it, isn't it?
2.
Does he have a changeup? No. 3 fastballs and a slurve. So we're looking for one of those to hit a long ways. He's trying to front door cutter. Good pitch against good players, bad pitch against bad players.
Yep, that ball went out.
Looking for a mistake pitch we can do damage on. He seems pretty confident with Evan Phillips. Pretty much all his releases have been perfect. He's just not taking into account the par sizes of the pitches he's throwing. So we got the runner to third. Doesn't change a lot right there. He probably scores on single with 84 speed no matter what.
The batter number 2.
So we still got to get a hit here. So we still need to be super locked up.
Simeon.
Pretty decent swing with Simeon. Again, we pulled off, right? Or no. We kind of pushed the ball. We were late. Our swing was inside. We're pushing the ball the other way. You're going to have a lot of power to hit home runs with swings like that. So, you know, I accept responsibility. It's not a great swing. Right there, we're getting a little too predictable. But, you know, you play a Yankee, you get to live with the results of Yankee. Any other part, it's probably a double off the wall for him, maybe even a home run. At Yankee, not going to be. So we're going to hit him with the backdoor cutter. Not because I think he's going to take it, because he has a developed eye or anything like that, and we're trying to trick him. More so just because I know he would probably be early on it and pull it for a bad result. So right here, Shohei selling. We have the bullpen going. We don't really want to bring him in. We're kind of at a weird part of the lineup where there's not a clear choice as to who to bring into the bullpen. So we're going to groove a cutter. He takes it. Again, in a 3-0 count, 3-1 count, never a big advocate of throw something down the middle. I would put it here, right, where if you perfect it, there is probably an 85 to 90% chance it will be a strike. But, you know, except that there's that small chance that it won't be. Same thing here. You can see Yankee Stadium home run. He's super early on the cutter or on the splitter, so we get to hear that lovely air raid siren again. Yeah, just early. Not a fantastic swing by our opponent by any means, but he is starting to heat up. He's starting to see Shohei a little bit because that swing is good. That's a good swing. Not a good pitch to swing at. That's a terrible pitch to swing at. You should not be swinging at that first pitch of the at-bat. But when he did swing at it, he had a good result, right? He had good timing. He was on it. You can see he's starting to get a little more dialed in on Shohei. So we got to be a little more careful with what we're throwing. He has shown a affinity to never swing at the cutter for some reason. That should be a double play ball. He should not get rewarded with that. I don't even know how it's really hit that hard. We're going to try to unintentionally kind of hang the slider. You can see he's up to his old shenanigans of trying to take an extra base through scummy means. And you can see he's a little too focused on the base running. It should probably be a little more focused on hitting. So that's a big thing at low ranks, right? People are so worried about getting their lead off. They're worried about taking their steps. Just focus on hitting, man. Because if you hit a perfect home run, that's better than any base you could ever steal. If you're that worried about hitting to a double play, then, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But in general, you can see he would hit into a double play anyway. We're going to first. Ellie loves to lollipop it and take forever to where maybe he could have been safe. So, Gary has had a pretty bad game so far. We're going to try to lock in a little more. Just missed it. We're under it and late. Yeah. Tough. Okay. So, I'm a little, you know, that didn't feel like a late swing. It didn't feel like, that felt like a good swing. Felt like a later side good type swing for me. But, you know, Gary's vision might have caused that.
Acuna Jr.
We got to get around on that. You got to take away your opponent's best pitch. And for him, it's that. To righties, it's that inside sinker. You can see our opponent's very upset about that hit. Like, he has not gotten a lot of bogus hits this game. So we got Ellie on. Again, we're trying our best to not end into a double play. So we're trying to not swing knees or lower. Below this PCI where I have it at right now, we are not swinging. Obviously, I was all over it. Time was just off. That's a great pitch, man. That's not a pitch you want to swing at, not with the runner on first anyway. And you see he's just hard committing. He's pitching, obviously, for the double play. A lot of times when people are pitching you for a double play, their go-to pitch when they are thinking, like, this guy's not going to swing for the double play is a high-end fastball, right? They want a strikeout pitch. So, right there, we got screwed over by the game because this guy wants to throw it around the diamond for an hour between every batter. We were spamming A to get through a cutscene, and our runner took off. So, already really not liking this guy whatsoever. Don't enjoy the way he plays the game. But, you know, he paid his $60. He can play the game however he wants. And we'll deal with it, and we'll just get the win, and we'll be happy with that. So right here, Stanley Steamer. Just try to get a swing and miss. You can see he doesn't have that developed eye. If he recognizes it to be the four seam, he, in his mind, has to swing ridiculously early. So we're kind of taking advantage of that. We're making him be wrong, basically. Yeah, it's the right pitch, but I don't think that's where you wanted it. So that's kind of the thought process there. He just sees the right pitch, and then he swings because, you know, in his mind, he saw the pitch he wanted. He's going to swing at it no matter what. So, right there, again, like I said earlier on that perfect, that's not a pitch you want to be swinging at, man. I mean, if you can help it, that's not. If that was an 0-2 count with Mike Napoli, go ahead, knock yourself out. But in that count, you do not be swinging at that. Because like I said, the best case for a pitcher's pitch in the corner for you is probably going to be a perfect single, right? So why even risk it, right? I mean, there's no point in that at bat. You can see he's pressing, he's putting his foot down. He feels threatened, he's scared. He's trying to force something to happen. He's getting very swing happy. That very mature, higher level approach that he supposedly has is disappearing because he's getting scared. He's pressing, he's worried he's going to lose the game. And he feels like he kind of has to do something drastic to change that. When in reality, if he kept the same approach, he could easily luck into like one or more home run. Like I believe he could guess right one more time and pull one over the wall at this atrocious stadium. So right here, he's throwing some very risky pitches. That's gonna go, and you play at Yankee, you get to live with the Yankee results. Not a great swing, but that's why you play at this park, right? Is to get those terrible swings to go. So I've been punished enough by flying out to deep center. That I don't really care that ball didn't go. And there's my redemption swing. We perfect the very next one. So don't feel too bad about it.
The first baseman, number 6.
Stan, lefty. We're looking high and in sinker. Lone away slurve. It's going to be his go-to pitches probably. Stan has a very quick and, straight through the zone lefty swing. But I didn't even really want to swing. I didn't even really want to check right there. It's right there. Probably not going to be a double play ball if we do swing at it, but we just didn't really commit. We committed to the foul because we wanted to see a better pitch to hit. But in general, we're looking for a mistake pitch here. And that is one. That's one. I would like to have that one back, I'll be honest. Hopefully J-Ram can do some damage. Right here. Don't know why he's pulling him, right? Doesn't really matter, man. He's a switch hitter. He's got great stats against both sides. But if our opponent wants to sweat every at-bat, then I'll let him. Not a bad result. My book, that probably shouldn't be a pop-up. It should probably be like a shallow fly-out. But, it is what it is. The game plays how it wants to play this game. Really, this gameplay has been more so about just overcoming adversity and just staying consistent and just having faith that it'll all work out. Like, that is 100% a hit if our opponent puts a swing like that on the ball. But, we just get shafted again, over and over again. And despite that, we're still probably going to win by multiple runs. So, it is what it is. Right here, I'm not super comfortable with Shohei pitching anymore. Switch righty-lefty. I'm going to hope Goose can come in and at least get the first two batters out. In general, I'm not trying to use my good bullpen arms. I would like to save them for a game that I have more doubts about. Goose should be a nightmare for this guy. That's another thing. When you're bringing in relievers, try to project how they're going to do against certain opponents. I know this guy is guest pitching. I know he has to pre-jack the fastball. I know he has to swing as soon as it comes out the hand if he's ever going to have a chance of touching the fastball. So a guy like Goose, where his changeup looks exactly like the fastball and is 25 miles an hour slower, is going to give this guy fits. So just a thought, right? Try to bring in guys you think are going to match up good against your opponent. Right there, I'm pretty sure we only threw him changeups. We might have threw one slurve or one sinker, but we pretty much only threw him changeups. Right here, he's probably expecting a middle-end fastball just because that would be the way you would traditionally pitch Hank. So, again, we get shafted, right? It goes over the fence by 1 centimeter. So, if he was late on that, theory says he should be late on this.
No balls,
yes, because we are moving from an inside timing window on a slower pitch to an outside timing window on a faster pitch. It should be slightly faster than that inside sinker was. Right there, he slams, he guesses right, and it's just unfortunate. So, pretty much a guaranteed out turned into a home run for my opponent because, that foul ball has to go 1 centimeter over. So, again, we're kind of getting unlucky, kind of getting slammed. Decent swing by him. Not a great pitch by me. You can see he's trying to manipulate us into throwing a fastball. So, what a lovely fella he is. But we're going to live with the changeup approach, I think.
Ball one.
Not a great pitch, right? Know your count. That was an 0-2 count, and I threw him something he could do damage on. Not a good idea in general. So right here, he's kind of all over the place. I really don't know what to throw him. Like I said, he's his hitting approach changes every inning, so it's really hard to get a read on him. Last time we threw this pitch, he hit it out. This time he's very late on it. I really don't know what he's looking for. I got a feeling it's this fastball, so we're going to elevate it. And hopefully we get a swing through. Yeah, okay, there we go, man. Like, he's just gas pitching, man. End of the day, you know, he panicked. He saw what the pitch was and knew he had to swing early to get it. Same thing again, check swing demon. You know, just check swing all the time. It'd be a real shame if he ever check swung, bunted the ball into play, and got guaranteed out. That would really suck, man. Really suck. So right here, we're going to try to throw inside this hammy because we know he has a long, loopy swing. Our opponent projects the swing. He overestimates how early he needs to be because Sammy's swing is not the greatest. So right there, if we slow him down a lot, still throw him inside. And right here, we're kind of lost for options. So I'm going to try to tunnel this with the fastball, hopefully. Hopefully he reads it wrong. Swings through it. You know, if you're too late on that, you're not really on the fastball. I don't really want to keep abusing that high and in fastball, or that high and up fastball. So we're going to try to go in, and we got him. Thank God he finally didn't get a check swing to go his way. Shocker. So, Mo, basically a less overpowering Kenley Jansen with way better control.
One, no strikes.
If this guy wants to put it in a corner, and that's where he wants that
ball
pitch
two.
to be, that's where the pitch is going to be. So right here, I'm kind of fine with slamming. I kind of know it's probably going to be in a corner. And we'll just continue to get shafted by the game. And, you know, our opponent can stay in the game where he should probably be getting blown out. But, you know, it's fun. It's fun. We're having fun playing this game that we all love so much. Right there, not a great swing. You know, that's me. It's hard to have a good at-bat. After that, after how demoralizing that was, it's hard to have a good at-bat. But, you know, it happens. Right there, very obvious pitch by him, but not necessarily one we want to hit unless we're sure it's in the strike zone. We're hoping that he bleeds one over the middle eventually, but he just wants to perfect every single release now. I think he just played bunt D on us, or took the bunt D off. So down the line won't be as good now. Good little front door slider.
One ball.
Not the worst
Two
pitcher
strikes.
in the world. He's just, you know, probably not the funnest guy to be around in real life, but, you know, it is what it is. Play how you want to play, I guess. Can't knock it too much. So right here, Chipper is very scary, but technically he's worse against righties. Jeter and Buck O'Neil. We're going Mo. I would be a little hesitant because he has Mo at like P3, P4, something like that. So obviously he uses them a lot. He kind of knows what pitches are good with them. The way he's been pitching with them is just throwing a bunch of sinkers. So,
Ball.
and we, bro, it's hard. It's hard. You gotta stay composed. You gotta stay composed. I mean, you know, our opponent's out there and dotted a corner 3 times in a row on the sinker, and our first one misses 5 feet inside. And he's swinging like Mo has an outlier, which he does not. So that is kind of helping our chances here. Terrible swing by our
One ball.
opponent.
2
His
strikes.
true colors are finally showing through. We're gonna throw this.
Ball.
Mo threw it at the very top of the pinpoint. He threw it as high as humanly possible, which is very unfortunate for us. That's right down the middle. So not the biggest fan of Mo in general, but I do believe our opponent is expecting a changeup here. So we're going to throw the fastball again. He's too early on it. He's guess pitching again. He thinks Mo has outlier or something. So we're going to throw him this. It could be a double down the line. Or it could be an early, because you can't pull that pitch. You have to go the other way with that pitch. If you're pulling that pitch, you're not going to have success on it. So, Derek Jeter, don't pull the captain. Come on, #1 Yankees fan in the world here is about to pull Derek Jeter out the game. Crazy. Crazy. Groundbreaking development here.
Your attention, please.
Ooh,
Now
Jackson
coming
Holiday.
into pinch hit.
Not a bad card. Not a bad card by any means. Right here, we got to really mix his timing up. He's kind of on stuff. So we got to be a little more less predictable. We got to change our tendencies from the game.
That's off the plate. Ball 2.
And, you know, he's getting blessed. He's getting the most blessed right now, but it's fine.
Ball. That's in.
This is hilarious, man. Not how you want to be playing the game. I don't know how you don't like that pitch. This needs to be a strike, Mo. He did. He threw it for a strike. Again, our fielder gets an awful jump on the ball, and now he is in a position to not only tie the game, but win the game. So that's unfortunate. Right there, we're trying to pick a pitch kind of quick so we could get a better matchup. If we really hate the matchup, we could just walk him. But I doubt he can put in anybody I'll be too afraid of.
Number 8.
Definitely not Ian Happ.
Happ.
Doesn't have a lot of power. We're going to try not to hang a pitch here. And right here, we're in a good spot to win the game.
Got him.
Obviously, if he scores, we're probably going to extras. But it's a productive out. We got him out. We kind of got what we were looking for. We're going to try to steal a strike.
Hey.
And now we're ahead in the at-bat, and this is a huge, huge situation to be in. Don't love that pitch because he could probably, in theory, hit it for a single. But he is taking a lead at third, so I would not mind just picking him off and stealing the game right now. Don't know why he's taking a lead at third. It's weird. It's weird behavior. There's no point. Pretty much, all you're asking to do is get picked off at third base for the game. So that's kind of crazy. It's not a good decision to make. Nothing changes by him taking this lead other than the fact that I can pick him off. And he's out. And that's how the game ends. If you're that scared to hit in that situation, his true colors showed, right? I was kind of iffy the whole game. If he's a scumbag or not, I think you got your answer right there. You just got to be smarter than those kids. You got to be aware. That's a hard stuck 700 player. Pulling out all the stops to try to beat somebody that he knows is better than him. That honestly got slammed the whole game. We got pretty over the whole game, unfortunately. But that is it, guys. Hopefully you can take some knowledge, some little nuggets from that. Obviously, the first 2 games were not very competitive, and there's 2 more games before this. I tried to get this recorded for, so a like and subscription would go a long way because I probably put in 3 hours, 4 hours of gameplay into this. But if this was helpful, feel free to like and subscribe. Hopefully this helps you out a little bit. Again, the coaching has been a huge success. If you feel like you do need coaching, if you feel like you need insight, if you're somebody that, struggles with the inputs, if you struggle with decision making, can definitely help out. Until next